Heart to heart with Abba Gabba. Heart to heart with Abba Gabba. Hello and welcome to Heart with Abba Gabba, a podcast in honor of celebrating families and everything about children, beginning with us. Confidently, this will inspire and encourage us to listen, defend, and advocate for our infants, toddlers, preschoolers, school age children, teenagers, and all children from across the board to help us see the world from their perspectives and offer support throughout their stages of development. Celebrate! Heart to Heart with Abba Gaba is sponsored by Stop Smart, your one-stop destination for staffing and non-medical concierge services for adults, teens, and children. For more information, I encourage you to visit www.staff-smart.org and by phone 480-875-6871. You are listening to Heart with Abba Gaba, a podcast in honor of celebrating families and everything about children, beginning with us. I'm your host, Abby Dominguez, a former nanny, early childhood educator, wife, and mother of twins. Today, I am stoked to bring you a heart to heart with Erica D'Arcangelo. If you love pizza, a good book, and all about Italian food and culture, you will understand why. Erica is the author of a story about pizza. Welcome to Heart with Abba Gaba. Please tell our listeners where we are chatting from and share a short bio.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. My name is Erica D'Arcangelo, and as you said, I'm the author of a story about pizza, and I'm here in Tampa, Florida right now. And I've worked in the marketing industry for about 20 years. And the last 2 years, I've been working on my book, which I released in August. And it's about my grandfather who immigrated from Italy to America, and he had a dream of opening a pizzeria. And I actually have a children's book series. It's 12 books, and the first book is out on the 9th of February, which is National Pizza Day.
Ooh, that is so awesome. Congratulations, Erica.
Thank you.
All right. So I wanted to ask you, what is your book about?
So the first book that I wrote, A Story About Pizza, is my grandfather's journey. He came over from Abruzzo, Italy with his parents and his three siblings, and the family had nothing, and they came to America in search of a better life. And my great grandfather was a coal miner, and my grandfather was actually pulled out of school when he was about 9 years old, and he worked in the coal mines for most of his life, as did his siblings. And he always dreamed of opening a pizzeria. And so the coal mines eventually closed, and the story follows his journey and his struggles and ultimately his success of trying to open this pizzeria for the local community and to support his family.
Ooh, I just love that. And I wanted to ask you, how did your grandfather's journey begin?
His journey began as a young boy who lives in Abruzzo, Italy, who loved pizza, and he went with his family. You know, his father, like many people who immigrated to America, his father was looking for a better life, and he found work in the coal mines. And a lot of the book it also talks about just some of the injustices in the coal mines, like there wasn't a union at the time, and just some of the abuses that happened with the miners.
Oh no. And I wanted to ask you, what are the main takeaways from your book?
Absolutely. So the main takeaways from A Story About Pizza are to never give up on your dreams, and also to really know that when you're doing something worthwhile, you're going to have struggles and you're going to have barriers, and that's just part of the game. And sometimes when someone is really striving towards something, it can really seem like, oh, this is overwhelming and no one else is experiencing this. But anything worthwhile, like those barriers are something that you're absolutely going to experience.
I just love that. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
And how do you feel growing up Italian influenced you?
Growing up Italian influenced me in a lot of ways. My grandparents were very generous people and very caring people. They were really hard workers. For example, like on Christmas Eve, we would have 80 people, and they would really like, look and see if there was anyone who didn't have a place to go for Christmas. And they would bring people in and feed them like they were in our family. And so they really taught me a lot about caring for people and really trying to understand people and just loyalty and hard work.
Just, I love Italy. I had a chance to go to Italy many years ago. I
Hmm.
went to Bologna
Oh,
and I love Italy. Um, anyway, I love the food, the culture. I couldn't help myself today because I was going to be talking to you. I was so
yeah.
excited. So what are your favorite things about Italian culture?
Oh, so many things. So just like you, I love Italy. I've been to Bologna and it's amazing, like so
No
beautiful.
way. Let's talk about Bologna. Forget everything else.
I
Let's
know.
chat for a
Let's talk
second.
about it. Okay, good.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh. I'll let you lead and then I'll add something here and there.
I mean, my favorite thing about pretty much anywhere that I've been in Italy, like including there, is the food. Like I love to eat. So I like that like every region of Italy has its own like history of food. And I actually don't remember what it was in Bologna, but like my dad took us like we went to a bunch of different places. Like we went to like Lucca and Parma and Abruzzo, of course, because that's where my family's from. And then we went to Cinque Terre and a place called Levanto or Levanto. And in each place, it was like there was a different type of food. And that was for me like what I loved is just like going to the local restaurants and like learning about like, okay, what's the food of this area?
Goodness. I just love that. I love how I remember when I go to an Italian store and I'll, try to buy something, they say, allora. I just
Yes.
die when I hear that. And then, like, before anything else, that's the first thing they say. And I just, oh my goodness. Um, what was your grandfather like?
My grandfather was very soft-spoken and he was very quiet. But he was like a very hard worker. He worked nonstop around the clock, made sure the coal furnace was burning coal so the building was heated, ran the pizza place. During the day, he would go and he'd visit neighbors and help the neighbors. And he never complained and he just sort of worked all the time and he was very generous.
He never complained. That's a virtue. That's really, I mean, I can't even imagine how hard it would be to work in the coal mine and not to complain. I give it to your grandfather. That is
Yeah,
amazing.
I do too, because like he's in Western Pennsylvania, which is one of the coldest places ever during the winter. And working outside in the elements and doing that day in and day out. And then he developed black lung and just not ever complaining about that.
Oh, oh my goodness. My heart goes out to him. I don't even know him.
Yeah,
So
he was wonderful.
I'm so proud of you for like continuing his legacy, like writing about him and talking about him and letting his legacy live. That's awesome.
Thank you.
What are some of your favorite Italian recipes?
Oh, there's so many, but I'll tell you one. So in my book, after each chapter, there's a family recipe. So there's one called pasta visual that's in the book. And so my grandmother every Friday would make this pasta visual, and it was just like a kidney bean, like a light red kidney, a dark red kidney bean, and she would use a ditalini pasta, and it had a tomato sauce, but she would kind of water it down so it was almost like a soup, and we would have it with Parmesan cheese and red pepper flakes and homemade bread. It was super delicious. So my dad kind of evolved this recipe and he started putting like a spicy Italian sausage in it. And my mom is a master gardener, so they would get vegetables from the garden and he still used the beans and the same sauce. And It is my favorite. It is like this delicious soup, but it's like a little bit spicy and it's just so, so good.
I love the name of it. I've only had minestrone. That's all I know when it comes to soup. So um, that sounds so delicious. And on the wings of that, why is Italian cooking so unique?
It's just such an art. Like every single region in Italy is different. I know that, when we went to Levanto, it was like the pesto was the main thing there. And it was so, so good. And that's what they use. Like they take things and they grow things with their land. Or there's, certain areas that olive oil is what it is, or Parmesan cheese. And it's just like the ingredients are so clean and they're so delicious. And that's for me like what I love about Italian cooking.
Yeah, talking about clean ingredients, that everything is so fresh, so clean. Oh my goodness, I am getting so hungry right now. And I wanted to ask you, what's the pizza like at the Arcs Pizza? No, I want to say this right. What's the pizza like at the Arcs Pizza?
Oh, it's so good. You're going to be starving after I tell you this.
Please, tease my
So,
hunger.
so basically, it is a rectangular pizza. It's 15 slices, and it's not a super thin pizza, but it's not a really thick pizza either. And the way that they cook it is they get this like crisp on the crust. So when you cut the pizza, you could just hear the crisp. And then they have like the cheese, like it's a bubbly cheese, and it's the sauce recipe that my grandfather's been using. And they have that pizza. And then many years later, we had something that we created called a Mike's pie, which my one of my brothers, he didn't like square pizza. So my mom started making him round pizza, and it's a round, thin pie, and it's a little bit different than the regular traditional pizza because it's
Uh-huh.
a thin pizza and it's a round pizza. But I like that one. I mean, it's great plain with like, but we also have it with like pepperoni and hot peppers, which is super delicious.
Ooh, that sounds so delicious. My taste buds are so teased right now. I want to hear more about your books. Could you please tell us more about your books and the best review that you've had?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a story about pizza is, as we talked about, is my grandfather's story of how he had this dream of opening a pizzeria. It really goes through the struggles of an immigrant.
Uh-huh.
And so, my some of my favorite reviews, I mean, I love every review. All of
Hmm.
the reviews we've had are organic on Amazon. And
Hmm.
I feel like the reviews have been beautiful, and like even
Oh,
people, yeah, texting me and messaging me, like that was why I
oh.
wrote the book, is just to hear, all the memories it brought back for people, because people have been going to my family's pizzeria since 1960 when it opened. So
Ooh, wow.
yeah, these are people that are like, I remember your grandmother, I remember your grandfather, like your story brought back so many memories to me. And that's like,
Oh,
it's close to my heart.
oh.
My new book series is going to be 12 books, but the first book is done and it's out on the 9th of February, and it's called
Mhm.
Pietro's Pizza. And it's a children's book, and it's going to go through, the journey of a young boy who is an immigrant and his love of pizza. And each book is going to have a different topic and lesson, and it's going to have, a lot of stuff about Italian culture and family and food. And
Mm.
the first book is the overall journey, but the books after that, each one of them will have a recipe at the end.
Oh, that's a good bonus. I love that. And was writing children's books so hard?
Yes and no. So the writing of the book is fairly easy. Like after writing the novel, it's a much quicker process, but the
Mhm.
illustration is really what brings.
Illustration, yeah.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to find a really beautiful illustrator that I sent her all the family pictures, and she hand drew everything. So like the characters look like the characters from my family. And
Oh, that's
yeah,
precious.
oh, the detail is so beautiful. And she drew the market and she drew the pizzeria and the coal mines, and like
Oh.
that's what I love about the children's book, is that when it's brought to life with the illustrations, it's just so
Hmm.
beautiful.
Hmm. I love it. I love it. I want to write it. One of my life goals is write a children's book, and I am stuck. I don't know what to do. So I'm still, it's a work in progress, but yeah, I commend you for your book and for having all the series out and for your upcoming book. So I wanted to ask you also what your upcoming project is. We may have mentioned that a little bit, but
Of course, we have some other ones. So we have the children's book series, of course, and I would love to release at least two, if not three children's books this year. I have the second
ooh, love
done.
it.
Yeah. So the other thing is we're doing a coloring book. It's a Pietro's Pizza coloring book, and it's really cute. It has like the characters and the pizzas, and it really will teach kids about like different pizzas and like pizza toppings.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be done. It'll probably be coming out, I'd say, right around the same time as the first book.
Mm-hmm.
And then launching a pizza podcast. Um,
Ooh, please invite me.
listen, you should just come with me because I want to like interview family like own pizzerias and I want them to like give us pizza.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
it.
and we're doing a docu-series on family-owned pizzeria. So we just filmed our first one over Christmas break and
Uh-huh.
we have it in editing now. We're hoping to have that one released. Like we're deciding right now if we want to go to Italy and get footage or if we haven't for the first
Ooh.
episode.
That
Yeah.
will be so awesome. I mean, pizza is so loved in this country. I mean, everywhere around the world, we love pizza. And but to find a good pizza, it's like, oh my gosh, you can't even, nothing compares to good pizza. And
Yeah.
stories about families and what you're doing, like it's just so amazing. I am just so inspired by you.
Thank
And
you.
oh, so are you what? Do you have any social media handles where listeners can find you or follow you or know more about your story? Anything you want to share with us?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, we have so the website's a story about pizza and all
All
of
right,
the
okay.
handles
Mm-hmm.
are a story about pizza. I think our TikTok is just story about pizza.
Uh-huh.
And then the DARCS pizza, it's just DARCS pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a viral TikTok and we if you want to get hungry, just go onto the TikTok because we have the videos on that TikTok.
Oh, and I just pulled your book here and I just love it. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Congratulations. It's awesome. And we have some time. And
Mhm.
so, do you have any final thoughts to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the first one is like, with what you talked about with your book idea, it's honestly such a good direction to go. And
Mhm.
what I was looking at is like there are a lot of books out there, but we consume content so quickly.
Uh-huh.
And so writing a book is such an important and like amazing journey
It
because
really is. Yeah.
you're putting out like a message for masses of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely would encourage you to do it. And if you ever need any help, like please reach out to me because I would love to help you just because I went on this book journey as like a brand new author. I
Mm-hmm.
thankfully had 20 years of marketing experience. So I knew how to market my book just from doing marketing for people and doing marketing for my parents' restaurant. And that is really like the biggest part is like, well, first, like really being confident in your story and
Mm-hmm.
confident in your book being a finished product. And
Uh-huh.
then if you have that confidence, then it's easy to market your book because you know what you put out is like really good and it's from the heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is so true. I love it. Um, so like you know, you put a book out there and then um you don't know how it's going to be received. And so when the story resonates with people and it makes a difference, it inspires them, it encourages them, helps them think differently. That is so powerful, I should say. And thank you
Yeah,
for your words of encouragement. One day, one fine day,
I love
I'll
it.
be able to release this children's book, and then I will be so happy. I wrote the book, but I sent it to my editor, and then she went through, and there's so much work to be done. So I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to do podcasting, and then I'll think about it, and then I'll pick it up again sometime.
You know what? I did the same thing. I literally finished my book and I let it sit for 4 months. I didn't know what to do with it. And I was like, I don't even know where to go from here.
Hmm.
So
I
it
know.
yeah.
It is. It is. And I think that like when I wrote I have two books out there, and those are nonfiction. It was so easy to write. I mean, not easy, but like
Yeah.
I lived the stories. They were true. They were funny. They were humorous. They were happy. They were sad. They were whatever it was. But children's book, it has to be lyrical, and I want it to be like speak to children. And anyway, I'm stuck there. But the
Yeah.
nonfiction part, I can just, that's for me, it's like, I love writing, and that's just, that part is just like easy. I don't want to say easy, but like doable. I love it. I enjoy it,
Yeah.
but
It
I'm
comes to
stuck.
you naturally.
Yes, it comes
Yeah.
naturally. But with a children's book, I'm stuck because of the lyrical. You can only have so much words, and like it's,
I
anyway.
had to almost pretend like I was a child. I know that sounds kind of like
I
odd, but
love it. There's a child in all of us, inner child.
no,
I
I
love
had
it.
to
I
almost like
so love
write
it.
this like if I'm 5 years old, like what is my understanding level of this book?
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that because children don't think too much,
No.
but we overthink things, but children don't. So,
No, they don't. And like my very best friend is my niece Gracie, and she's 5. And like my sister, I was like lucky enough that I get to spend so much time with her. My sister and her husband are both coaches, so like I would pick her up from school every day and like
mhm.
would listen to Taylor Swift and we would sing and we would
Oh,
go to the library and we would go up on the boardwalk because, we lived in New Jersey and we just had like the best time. And so like writing it, I was like, okay, if this is my niece reading this book, what
uh-huh,
is the understanding level of this?
uh-huh. Oh, that is such a great way. I love
Mm.
it. I love how you share that because I went to a writing workshop one time, and then I had a teenager read my book, and she loved it so much. She was laughing, and I was like, that's what I want. That's
Wow.
how I want people to like, like that's the reaction. Until this day, I've never forgotten how she's a teenager, and they have their own world, and it's fun and it's cool, and it's and
Yeah.
for her to just delve in and enjoy it and laugh from the heart, and it was just like wow, I'm doing something good. Anyway, whatever.
No,
It was
it's
good.
true and it's beautiful. Like, and the thing about children's books is like kids aren't gonna lie. Like if they hate your book, they're gonna tell you. So,
Oh yes. Oh,
so,
trust
like
me,
I
they
almost
were.
prefer that because I'm like, here, like, do you like this book? And like if the kid doesn't like it, then at least like I know.
Yes, before it goes out there in the world and other children don't like it, that you may never know. So yeah, that is such a good marker
Yes.
for us knowing. Yeah. Oh, oh, Erica, I love it. How is Florida like?
It's really nice. We live between New Jersey and Florida. Like my family lives in South Jersey and all of my siblings just started having kids. So like I'm there a lot. And then we're down in Tampa. We have like some work down here. We have a video company, so we
Oh,
travel for
nice.
that. It's chilly right now.
Hmm.
I'm hoping that it gets warm here. I mean, chilly for
Hmm.
here is like 55, 60, but it feels cold.
It does feel cool. I live in Arizona, and it's kind of the same thing. It's because we used to the summer kind of all year round. It's warm here,
Yeah.
except for like the northern Arizona. It's cooler. It snows and everything. But us in Phoenix, it's cold for us right now. But it's
Yeah.
sunny, but it's cold for us. So I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm. If you ever in Arizona, you have a friend here.
Well, same with Tampa. Like if you're ever in Tampa or even like South Jersey, you need to call me and I'm going to take you for pizza.
I would love it. I used to live in Philadelphia, so I know about Jersey.
Oh, you do
Love,
have, oh
I
my
used
God.
to, I used to live in Philadelphia like for 15 years before moving out here. So I
Wow.
love New Jersey, and I know New Jersey. I love New Jersey. So yes.
Yeah, we live in Ocean City and it's only
Ooh, I
yeah,
love
30
Ocean City.
minutes.
Every summer we used to go there and enjoy the boardwalk and just go to the beach and all that. Yeah. So
Yeah, they have good pizza there.
they do, I must say, they do. Oh my goodness. You're bringing back memories here. Erica, what
Yeah,
are you
yeah,
doing?
there's so many places. Before we like lived there, we used to go there as kids on vacation, and our family is Italian. We love pizza, so we always go on like we go on the boardwalk and try all the pizza places. And to
Mhm.
this day, like we have our favorites.
Oh, so do you speak Italian?
Very little. Like I can order a cappuccino and ask where the bathroom is, but like otherwise, I really don't. My dad speaks a little bit. My husband is from Venezuela and he's actually fluent in Spanish and Italian.
Ooh,
Yes,
nice. Good for
I'm very
him.
jealous.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't speak it. Of course, I'm African. I don't speak Italian. But living there, I picked up a few things here and there, which I like to pull sometimes. But I'm forgetting over the years. But yeah, it's such a beautiful language. Very cool, very musical, I should say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, how long were you in Italy for?
So I didn't live there. I take it back. I used to go for vacation. So I'll be there for like for summers, for summer vacations.
So
Um,
nice.
yeah. So we went to Milan,
Yep.
Rome, Roma, Milano, um,
Yes.
Firenze, Bologna.
Mm.
Went to the glass place. What is it called again? There's a black glass company, glass.
Where
Um,
they blow glass, right?
Weather blow glass, yes.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't live there, but I used to go for summers and
I feel like when you're there for summer, though, you feel like you live there because, like, when I was 16, I lived there for the summer and it really felt like home to me for that summer.
oh, that's awesome. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I When I was younger, I didn't really appreciate cultures and
Same.
traveling. But now that I'm older, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have been to Milan. I have been to Piazza di whatever the name is. I don't even remember right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I really appreciate looking back. I'm like, if I could, I would just go there for a week or two or whatever. It's just so fun. The food, the weather, the air, the language, the I feel like there was so much love happening in the air.
Oh, yeah.
All
No, me too. Me too.
these young people holding hands everywhere and like PDAs and all, I don't know.
Well,
Fun
it's
things.
when my husband and I first started dating,
Uh-huh.
one of the first places that we went was Italy. And it was like I had my daughter, and I think she was like 11 at the time. And my daughter and he and we met my parents in Italy because my dad goes to Italy like several times a year.
Uh-huh.
And it was like the most romantic, like amazing trip of just like going around
Ooh,
and eating and sightseeing and like it's
I
just like being
love
in
it.
love in Italy.
I love it. I totally agree. I remember one time we went to get fresh water from the mountain in Bologna. It was a big deal. Like this
Wow.
water came from like the source, like the some it was so cool. Yeah, it was
Okay,
so
I
cool.
would be down for that. I'd be in the car with you guys.
Oh my goodness. Seriously, if you're ever in Mesa, please, and if I'm ever in Florida, um, we can be
Like
friends.
or New Jersey or
Or
Pittsburgh,
New
like
Jersey, or Pittsburgh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wimber, PA, DRX Pizza, go there. I'll make my
The
dad buy
Arcs
you
Pizza.
pizza. Yep.
Oh, the Arcs Pizza. I am getting so hungry for a good pizza right now. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Go
The
have one. It's Friday.
Ooh, nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. It's been an absolute pleasure of having you today on Heart to Heart with Abigaba. Thank you so very much for considering me and for stopping by to have a chat with me. And I have learned so much from you, and I wish you all the best in your upcoming projects. And let's link up sometime. And
Absolutely. Thanks so
yeah.
much for having me on.
Oh, you're very welcome, and Happy New Year, day three.
Yeah. Yeah, you too.
And have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Okay,
Okay.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Heart to Heart with Abagaba is also sponsored by Aspire Behavioral Health. They offer monitoring, counseling, medication, and personal care services in a beautiful residential setting. I encourage you to contact them at aspirecbh@outlook.com or call 480-875-6871. Please feel free to share this podcast with your friends, families, and loved ones. And if you would like to connect with me, the best place would be on my website, abigailedominguez.com, or on social media. You can follow me on Instagram at author_Abigail_Dominguez. And we have a new YouTube channel at Heart to Heart with Abagaba. So please feel free to check us out also. And finally, I'd like to make a disclaimer that the stories and points of views we have shared on this podcast are personal and from our life and work experiences. We are not legal, medical, mental, or health advisors. Have an awesome day, and I look forward to connecting with you again on this platform. Be a light, be joyful, and as always, celebrate.